It's a recession when fewer people get Botox, when strip clubs are empty, and plumbers show up on time. Today, I read an interesting article on Yahoo.com, put out by The Independent and written by Justin Barragana, titled, Jamie Dimon tells Maria Bartiromo that recession is likely and he expects defaults amid trade war. According to the author, J.P. Morgan Chase CEO warned that a recession was a likely outcome amid Donald Trump's trade war, and he expects corporations to default in the near future. He believes sticky inflation isn't going away anytime soon. He urges the administration to begin negotiating new trade deals with other countries quickly. Here are my thoughts. Well, my friends, we have heard what the CEO of the superbank JP Morgan thinks. I have no doubt corporations will default. Some will try to adapt. I'm afraid some of their customers won't be able or willing to deal with fluctuations in price. This may all get very real at some point in the near future. I have to wonder when we are going to start hearing more about greedflation. Some companies may blame price increases on tariffs, regardless if that was really the cause. Some companies may increase prices and use the tariffs as just an excuse. Now, Jamie Dimon said the current financial panic isn't comparable to the 2008 Great Recession because the world was massively overleveraged due to subprime mortgage securities. He said the banking system is not that leveraged today, but the situation is still serious because we have a huge, complex geopolitical situation with huge fiscal deficits here and around the world, and sticky inflation that won't go away quickly. I thought inflation was transitory. Here are my thoughts. I'm glad he is at least recognizing risk in the world right now. All it could take is the wrong news to come out of China, and a downward spiral in the stock market could resume. Jamie Dimon also said he believes companies could soon be reducing their workforces to cut back on costs. My friends, I'm afraid he's right. Just wait. I am sure we are going to be reading about a lot of layoffs in the news. I hope Americans are paying off debts and building up an emergency account right now. Who knows how ugly of a recession we may be entering. There were a lot of comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. The first commenter said, "This is not good news if corporations default on their loans. That will put pressure on banks that are already stressed. This will force the Fed to pivot and start lowering interest rates. This will ignite inflation once again and destroy what little value the paper fiat dollar has." The next commenter said, "I really dislike Jamie Dimon. 2 weeks ago, he said everything was fine, which was either a bold-faced lie or he doesn't have the slightest idea of what he is doing." The last comment that I'll share with you is pretty long, but you may find it interesting. This person said, "Trump caved to the market. It was clear the market was about to freeze up, starting with the bond market. His so-called advisors told him if he doesn't lift his arbitrary reciprocal tariffs, then he'll have a market crash, a recession, and no action on his legislative agenda. So the very stable genius lifted the tariffs a couple days after signing them into law, with no country-specific agreements reached. But so many phone calls. Countries are calling me. Wow. Any deals signed? Why take off the pressure before a deal is signed? Isn't that the art of the deal? Why would any country take him seriously? He and his band of followers have zero credibility now. Americans have 31% of the world's wealth and 4.2% of its population. How can it be claimed with a straight face that they've been ripping us off? And Trump has an audience for such nonsense because during the last 30 to 40 years of globalization, the one percenters in the U.S. have gobbled all the gains and wealth. America did get richer, much richer, but it flowed to the very few people because of the conservative political class, which did not allow the wealth to get distributed. Our own political elite has ripped us off, not the global trade system. The pie got bigger as economists predicted free trade would bring, but the rewards got vacuumed to the few." Well, my friends, these commenters always have interesting things to say. Please keep in mind, these are the thoughts of the commenters and not me. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. I read another interesting article today. This one was on Yahoo Finance, put out by BuzzFeed and written by Andy Golder, titled, "There's Plenty of Parking, 23 Subtle but Alarming Recession Indicators That People Have Noticed." The author of this article referenced someone on Reddit who asked, "What less conventional signs are you seeing of a recession?" And people responded. The author highlighted 23 of the responses. I'm not going to share all of them with you, but I picked out some that I thought were interesting. One of the people said his friend visited an area in Las Vegas, and they had a $5 blackjack table. In the past, the tables required $25 a hand. Well, I personally found this one to be interesting. I remember going to Las Vegas shortly after the GFC in 2008. The casinos were dead, which was great for me because there were no crowds anywhere. The next person said, plumbers are showing up on time. He said his plumber is responding to calls and doing work promptly, which leads him to believe business is not booming. Another person said, Italian sandwich shops in prime locations are struggling. Here are my thoughts. I'm sure this is something that is very local, much like real estate. There are hot areas where restaurants continue to boom, while others have experienced a significant slowdown. The next person said, there are more students, a jump in people entering to do their master's and Ph.D. Well, my friends, this is something that also occurred at many universities after the GFC in 2008. Some people who were unemployed took out student loans and tried to live off any extra money that wasn't paid to the college for tuition. I personally know people who did this back then. Another person said there is a lack of Botox. A Botox lady said she's seen a significant reduction in clients getting services, and it eerily reminds her of 2008. The next person said there are empty strip clubs. Well, this isn't the first time I've heard this. I saw another article in the financial news recently where a female owner of a club said attendance is down, people aren't tipping as well, and some are even trying to haggle on price. The next person said, there is a used guitar surplus. This person buys and sells music equipment. There's a lot more selling, but nobody is buying. Well, my friends, we saw that type of behavior back in 2008 as well, not just with music equipment. Just about any type of personal property was difficult to sell. I really found some of the items on this list to be interesting. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.